know the world has changed for a while. I know life has seen its trials, but we're smiling, still stand strong. Bring the love to everyone. I know it seems like more cloudy days. I know time, yeah, seems to fade, but we're smiling, still stand strong. Bring the love to everyone. With open hearts we'll still shine strong. Bring the love to everyone. We'll bring the love to everyone. We'll bring the love to everyone. Let's bring the love to everyone.
Hi everyone! I hope you are all doing well and enjoying this time at home with your family. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about what our SEC online platform and classroom is going to look like for the month of May. But before I go into that, I want to share something with you guys. We have created something called the SEC Good Deed Diary that we would like you guys to participate in for the month of May. On our Google Classroom, under Calendars, you will see the calendar for the month of May. When you click on it, a PDF will pop up. You will notice the calendar is very blank, with the exception of birthdays and holidays. For the month of May, we would like you guys to record all your good deeds. For example, helping around the house, checking in on a friend or family member. A good deed is something that is done, performed, or accomplished with someone else's best interest at heart, meaning you are not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the greater good. So we'd like you guys to print off a calendar for the month of May and every day write down your good deed for the day and then share it with us on our Google Classroom. Our theme for the month of May is SEC Toolbox with the sub-theme Tools in Our Toolbox. What does that mean, you may ask? It means that with the right tools and some help from above, there is no problem or job in the world you cannot fix. Whatever comes in our lives or the challenges we face, there is always a tool in the toolbox that will help us do the job. So let's think, what's in our SEC toolbox? What are the tools we use that help us connect and listen? I thought of a couple. Since we at SEC are about light and sharing our light and spreading our light, what tools do we use to do that? We bring our smiles and we bring our joy. When we think of a toolbox, the first thing that may come to our mind is a handyman. And what's in a handyman's toolbox? He may have a hammer, a wrench, a power drill, all the tools that he needs to get his job done. Now for our SEC toolbox, there are many tools that we use to help us connect and listen at SEC. When we do art, culinary, literacy, music, we all use different tools, but we'll get into those later. Because today we are going to focus on teaching tools. What tools do we have available that allow us to stay connected, especially during this time while we are at home? We have our online videos and our Google Classroom where you guys can be connected and engaged with us. Our technology tools such as computers, iPads, cell phones are certainly getting a lot more use these days to help us stay connected to family and friends who we can't see at the moment. To continue with our teaching tools and staying connected, Sarah D is now going to teach you guys how to use Zoom, because we have a very special announcement coming up for the end of May, which will involve using Zoom, and I think you guys will want to know and want to listen. So let's follow along with Sarah D.
Hi there. So, as Sarah already mentioned, the other Sarah already mentioned, our theme of the month is SEC Toolbox. And Toolbox, the things that come to mind, hammer, wrench, okay. So, but there are different toolboxes for different things. It depends what you're trying to do. So if I were trying to maybe do my nails, I actually have a little toolbox that has different things in it to help me do my nails. So I have a nail file, I have nail polish. These are different tools to help me for that. If I wanted to draw a picture, I might come up with another kind of toolbox. So I have my pencil case. We could also call this a toolbox. And inside, let's see. I could use highlighters. I could use a pen. I could use pencil crayons or pencils. These are different kinds of tools that could help me to maybe draw a picture. So depending on what I'm trying to do, those are the different kind of tools that I'm going to be using. So for today, I'm going to teach you a little bit about listening and connecting, which we have talked about a lot at SEC. And as we know, there are different ways that we can listen and connect. So when we were at SEC, we would all be around the table together talking. We would have our paper, we would have our whiteboard, and we would listen and connect that way. But now is a little bit different because we're not in the same room. But that doesn't mean that we can't listen and connect. We just have different tools that are going to help us do that. So we have, what I'm using right now, I'm using my phone to record to you. So that is a tool. You could use a computer, you can use an iPad, and these are different things that are going to help us to connect to each other. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to go on to something that we've been using as the SEC staff to stay connected together. We have been using something, it's an app, it's called Zoom. And we go on there, we have staff meetings. We're not in the same room, but we can still Zoom, which means we're all together and we meet online. So we get to connect and share our ideas that way. So the reason why I'm telling you about Zoom is because at the end of the month of May, we are planning to have a special SEC Circle of Friends get together. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. But right now, let me show you how to go onto Zoom.
Hi everybody. Now I'm going to show you guys how to join a Zoom meeting. So Sarah D has invited us to join her Zoom meeting. Whenever you get invited to a meeting, you'll always get something that looks like this: the time, the date, a link to the meeting, along with a meeting ID and password. Today I'm going to show you guys how to join the meeting by clicking this link. So let's click this link to join Sarah's meeting. A new page will open up and we're going to say, yes, allow this page to open Zoom. Click allow. And now we're waiting for Sarah to start the meeting. That's all you have to do when you get invited to a meeting. You just have to click the link and wait for it to start. And at the time that the meeting is set to start, the Zoom program will open up and you should be able to see yourself on the screen. Now I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So now that the meeting has started, you have entered the Zoom program and this is what it looks like with all those icons on the bottom. Now we can see ourselves pretty clear, so we're giving ourselves a thumbs up. Now if we can't see ourselves, that might mean our camera's turned off. So over here where it says stop video, I press it and my live camera goes away and a red bar goes through the camera. If I turn it back on, we come back. So that's how we know our camera is working. Our microphone is also working right now because there is no red bar through the microphone icon. If I were to hover over the mute button and click on it one time, a red bar goes through the microphone. That means when you're on your Zoom call and if you were to talk, no one would be able to hear you because you are muted. To unmute yourself, you press it again till the red bar goes away. Those are pretty much the basic kind of things you need to know when navigating the Zoom program. If you want to leave the meeting, you'll press the red words end meeting, click on it once, and you're just going to press leave meeting because you don't want to end the meeting for everybody if you yourself just want to leave. You press leave and your screen goes blank back to the Zoom home screen. So now we're going to join Sarah's Zoom meeting and we will show you what it looks like when you join a Zoom meeting with other people.
All right. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you guys?
Nice to see you.
You too.
All right. So, Sarah, we wanted to invite you to, at the end of the month, we're doing a Circle of Friends with everybody on Zoom. So it's going to be our Zoom Circle of Friends. It's going to be Sunday, May 31st at 7 p.m. So we want to make sure you're there and all our other friends are there. And then it'll be a good chance for everybody to catch up and see how everybody's doing and, share stories. and yeah, just talk and have a good time. So are you gonna be there?
That sounds great. I for sure will be there, and I hope
All
everyone
right.
else. I hope everyone else joins us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
We can't wait to see everybody there.
that'll be great. Sounds great.
All right. Okay, well, we just wanted to stop by and say hello and invite you to our Circle of Friends again on Sunday, May 31st at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And yeah, so I guess we'll see you there, okay?
Sounds
See
good.
everybody there.
We can mark it in our calendar.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Rosa and this is my mom Bertha. And for this week we're going to be talking about some tools. So for the tools we'll be showing today is tools associated with sewing. So we're going to be showing you some of the machinery electronic tools, and then we're going to be showing you some of the manual tools that is used during sewing. So the first thing that you need when you sew is a pattern. So they usually come in packages that look like this. And inside this pattern, you're going to have pieces that look like this. So sometimes after you finish picking your pattern, you need to choose a fabric. So I have one that looks like this. I chose this in the blue color. And so sometimes the patterns though, they don't fit your body type. So it's really important that you take your measurements. So you're gonna need a tool that looks like this. This is called a measuring tape. So on one side, it comes in inches, and in the back side, it comes in centimeters. So once you're done taking your measurements and you have them recorded, you can start looking at the back of these packages, and they have measurements here, and you can pick which one is your size. So if they don't fit, you can also make your own patterns. So you see here, I have a pattern that is with my own measurements here, and you can cut these out and you're going to be transferring them onto your fabric. So once you're done doing that, you can use pins that are really useful when you're trying to attach your pattern to your fabric. Once you finish doing that and tracing your pattern onto your fabric, you can start cutting them out, and you're going to use a tool that looks like this, which are scissors. And then you also have tools like this. It's called a needle. There's many needles. Let me just take one out so you can see. So it looks like that. And then also over here I have just some other tracing paper of some of your styles that you want to do. So you can use pen and paper for that. So another really important tool over here is this is called a seam ripper. And this is usually used if you make a mistake. So if you've sewn something and maybe you've sewn too far up in the wrong angle, you can use this little tool and you can just rip out some of the parts that are sewn. And it's a really useful and important tool. So next we're going to be talking about the sewing machines.
So to get any sewing done, if you need any garments to be made, you use different tools. Like Rosa said, we have the tools manually, like scissors and things like that. Instruments that you use to make a pattern, some paper. But then when your garment is already cut into your fabric, you use fabrics to put through the machine. So to make a final end of your fabric so it doesn't break down or there are no little pieces of thread hanging out, we use a machine like this serger. This serger has 4 threads in the back, and this machine, when you put it through, it cuts the fabric around here. When you put it through the machine, it really breaks everything, every fabric. This is the foot, and you put your lever down, and it cuts every thread that is there, and it binds it. Like this garment, for example, is already bound, and it's very clean. It's a very clean cut. But to close your pieces, we use a sewing machine. So this sewing machine does all the finishing work, like this part and all your seams. All the 2 pieces of garment are sewn and closed in like this. So it finishes and it closes all your pieces. These are the main 2 electric tools that you use to finish a garment. To use your fabric, then you go to the fabric store And once you have all your patterns done, and once you have all drawn all your measurements, then you cut it onto your fabric. When your fabric is all cut, then you come and you finish each piece in this serger. If you don't have one serger, it's okay, because you can use also the sewing machine to do your final edges and to do closing of all your garments. I hope you like these machines because they're really great.
Hi everyone! First of all, I'd like to just wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day. And if you guys have noticed, this week we're talking a lot about tools. We're going to be talking about tools for the rest of the month. But in art, specifically, we have a lot of tools. And it's interesting because they can be used in many different ways. So for this week, we're going to create a Mother's Day card, but we're going to use markers, but not exactly in the way that you think. Alright, so these are the artistic tools that we're going to be using today. We're going to be using mainly these markers, a paper plate, or any kind of light plastic surface that you can, that is washable. Some water, paintbrush, some scrap paper, and you may or may not need an ink pen. Okay, so let's take a look at these markers. So we're going to be using these markers, but not in their conventional way. First off, you're gonna want to make sure that they are washable, or else this technique won't work. But what we're gonna do is we're basically going to mimic watercolor. So if you don't have any watercolors at home, don't worry. If you have any washable markers, especially like these Crayola markers, we can mimic watercolors. So the way you use this technique is basically grab any color. I'm gonna grab my favorite color, and you want to write all over the plate in kind of one section. Alright, then you're going to take your paintbrush, get a little bit of water on that paintbrush, put it on there, and then take a look. It very closely mimics a watercolor. So of course, you're not going to want to use just any paper. Try and find a thicker paper. If you are using computer paper at home or anything like that, the water will probably seep through. So try to find something thicker, even if it's not watercolor paper, just something a little bit thicker. But anyway, as you can see, we just took some marker and kind of looks like watercolor paint. Really cool. Let's try another color. That purple seeping in there, we want to be careful with that. Make sure that when you're changing colors, you kind of wash all of the previous color off, because these are even more watery than watercolors. So it's kind of thin, it's going to blend really well. And it's going to bleed into other colors just like it's doing there. Alright, awesome. So, as you can see, we've just kind of taken our markers and mimicked like a watercolor effect. So, for this week, since it's Mother's Day, I'm going to have this template up on Google Classroom, and I'm going to have the measurements of the card as well, because what we're going to do is we're going to paint this, and we're going to use our watercolor markers here to kind of paint this template, and then you're going to glue it onto the front of your card, and then you can fill in your card for your mom for Mother's Day. But let's start with this. So I'm going to take the lighter color, purple, because when I'm drawing these flowers, basically you don't have to worry too much about the shape or anything. What you're basically going to do is you're just going to create a circle of color on top of each of these flowers that haven't been colored in yet. So, the first flower I want to be a light purple. So I'm going to use a dark purple to shade it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plate I'm gonna grab some of my lighter purple. This one's called Tropical Violet. I'm gonna make sure my paintbrush is mostly clean of all of the previous color. I'm going to try and grab as much of this color as I can. Alright. So I'm just going to lightly kind of make just like a circular kind of shape. If you want, you can keep it fluffy at the top. And I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'll go in with my darker shade. Same with blue. I'd like this to be kind of a bluish color, so I'm gonna take my lighter blue make sure that my paintbrush is clean from all the purple. And then I'm going to kind of create a circular kind of shape around this flower. Very nice. Alright, now that that's somewhat dry, I'm going to go in and change my color again. I'm going to get this darker purple. And I don't want it to be too watery because I want it to be darker. I'm going to start to add that where I think there would be shading. Same with the light blue. I'm going to take the darker color. I'm going to shade the bottom part of this flower. Very nice. I'm going to do the same thing with my greens too. I'm going to take the lighter shade first. And the darker shade, let's go with Emerald. And of course, the more water you add, the more these colors will blend into each other. All right, so once you finish kind of coloring the whole thing in, it should look like this. Alright, so I decided to go with some pinks and I painted in mothers, the word mothers, and all that's left to do is for me to attach this to the front of my card and then give it to my mom. So try it yourself and send me some pictures of the cards you've made.
Hi everyone! Today we're gonna make a cake pops. Okay, I don't know if you guys know, but our new theme now for May is gonna be SCC Toolbox. So for Culinary, we need some tools. Let me show you guys what we're gonna use today. We're gonna use a mixer, that's our tools, with the whisker. We're gonna use our measurement cup too. We're gonna use the half a cup today and the 1 cup. And then we're gonna use our cake pan. Okay, this is gonna be our tools for today. Cake, we're gonna use a cake mix, 3 eggs, it's gonna be 1 cup of milk and half a cup of vegetable oil. Then to make the cake pops, we're gonna use a doce de leite. You guys can find this on No Frills, or you can use a condensed milk or the jam with no fruits. Coconut to melt the chocolate and some to decorate after. Then, okay guys, this is the 1 cup. We're gonna put 1 cup of milk. You can use water too, but I like with milk. Usually I make my own cake, but for this time. And half a cup of vegetable oil. Then 3 eggs. If you guys don't have the mixer, you guys can do with the wood spoon. It's the same. Okay, then after you mix everything, put in the tray. And you bring to the oven 350 for maybe half an hour. And that's it. See? Okay, the cake is done. It's cold, it has to be cold. Now I'm gonna do half of the cake. And I'll put a glove just to one hand. Okay. See guys, look how beautiful. Then you're gonna have to crumb this cake. Like, destroy the cake. After cake, it's all crumbed. Look, this. We're gonna start adding what you guys want to put in your cake. I'm gonna do the dulce de leche. Because we need to make our cake get all stick to make the bowl. Okay. It's easy if you wanna do it with no gloves, you can do it, but it's gonna get stick. It's better use the gloves. And hey guys, it has to be like this. Like, see, you can do it. Okay. All right. Okay, you get a tray with a paper parchment there. I made 2. You guys can do any shape you guys want. I like that shape. We can make some balls too. It's easier. Like, you get a piece, go in your table. And look. And then if you want a dash shape, like a little bit. See? And you put it here. Okay, when you're done, you're gonna place them in the fridge for at least maybe an hour. And then we do the rest. Okay, after an hour, look, they're nice and cold. Now we're gonna melt some chocolate. I'm gonna do in the microwave. For this one, you just melt a little bit because it has to go back to the fridge, okay? I put a little bit of coconut, like it's melt. Then I got the paper straw. Let's see if it's gonna work. You go just like a little bit and like that. Just make sure you don't go to add onto the other parts, no? Done. We're gonna bring to the fridge for 10 to 20 minutes, and then we're gonna do the next from the fridge. And now I'm gonna melt more chocolate. It's gonna be the same process. I'm gonna put some chocolate for melt, some coconuts, and in the microwave. After my chocolates melt, I wanna do red because it's gonna be Mother's Day. We can do for Mother's Day. I'm using food color. Really, I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's see. Does work. And then you guys do and choose the color you like. I think this is perfect. Done. You get that. Dip. If you have anything like you can stick this to make it dry, perfect. If you don't, I'm just gonna put it here. Okay, and then you're gonna continue until you finish all your cake pop. Okay, after we finish dipping, we put it back to the fridge until the chocolate is getting cold, like it doesn't stick no more, and then you guys can dry. Okay. Okay, bye everyone. And the full recipe is gonna be in our Google Classroom. Send us pictures and see you guys next week. Bye.
Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good this week. So this week, Mother's Day is coming up, and the song we chose is What a Wonderful World from Louis Armstrong. So for my guys watching, I want you to go on Google Docs, I want you to find the words, and I want you to learn the words and practice them so you can sing this song to your mom on Mother's Day. But we'll sing it today and sing along with me, and then yeah, practice it, and then when Mother's Day comes, you can sing this beautiful song for your mom. Alright, so let's get started. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed days, dark scarred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're only saying, I love you. I see babies crying, watch them grow. They learn so much, more I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're only saying, I love you. Ooh, ooh, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. All right, good job, guys. Okay, so we'll see you next week.
Hey guys, this week you really showed us that you guys are definitely people who perform. Check out all this amazing artwork. Some empanadas were made, and the SEC puzzles, and sign language. You guys are really doing a great job. So make sure that you log on to our Google Classroom for all the activities this week, and send us more clips of your work. It really makes our day. And just to end off this Endslate, we're going to leave you with Monica, Jenna, and Marco doing some sign language to the song Heroes by Alesso. Thanks.
We can hide away in daylight. We go on the road, hate on the sun. Got a secret side in plain sight. Where the streets are empty, that's where we